you're just a man of many projects. Apparently, the Victoria's Secret car is now yours. You're the proud owner.
That's right.
How's it smell?
Dusty. It's been sitting in a Hell's Angels airplane hangar for 14 years, but it is now mine, and it drove for the first time about an hour ago. So it is making progress back to the land of the living cars.
Nice. What is the car? Did we say that? Did I miss it? We just called it the Victoria's Secret car, right?
In 1998, Lamborghini sold one Diablo through the Victoria's Secret Christmas catalog. And it's a Diablo SV, so they came with huge SV stickers along the sides of them, but they inverted them, so it says VS and like this big chrome sticker on it. And there was this photo shoot with all the Victoria's Secret Angels of the Year all around the car with the Tyra Banks, and I don't know what the other ones are, but they're all these now old supermodels that I think is pretty fun. And just so I'd been looking for the car for years, and a private investigator found it, and we made a deal with these people that had really never driven it. They bought it at an auction in 2011, never titled it, never did anything with it, drove it 2 miles and put it on a lift. And so it was a good financial decision for them over that period of time. But yeah, it's one of those kind of like legendary 90s Lamborghinis that nobody knew where it was, and we finally found it.
Nice.
I just see you convincing the Hells Angels like that car is worthless. You don't want that. First of all, don't talk to any other buyers. If you do, lowers the value of your car.
That's it.
You want to be talking to just me, and you want to sell it to me cheap, because otherwise you're in a bad place. Is this how the negotiation went?
Pretty much exactly that. Yes. You've got different sensitivities for different types of sellers and different deals. And this one was very much, we didn't really want you to know we had it. We understand that you now are aware of it, so we're open to doing a quick and easy deal, as long as it's at a huge profit from what we did. But I still think I got a good deal on it. That'll remain to be seen as we go through all the unobtainable parts. But yeah, there she is, 1998 Lamborghini Diablo SV. It's only got 12,000 miles on it, but it is covered in dust and filthy, and fortunately not moldy or rusty, which is nice. Sometimes they get that way, but overall, it seems, so far like a nice, solid car.
What building was it kept in? Like, I picture it to be a stable with hay all over it, but that's not Hell's Angel-y.
You think about these barn find cars that go missing, and people will dig through and they try to find, they bring back and take to Pebble Beach, and that's not like my style. I like a car that is cheap for some reasons, but that just allows me to afford it, whereas I couldn't just go out and buy like a perfect version of this car. And so this one was one. It was actually in just a steel building in central Illinois, so reasonably well kept, apart from just never used. And so old gummy fluids and things like that generally gone through now, and so it's good. It's got a massive oil leak, and so that'll require us to pull the motor and stuff like that, but not a wildly unexpected thing on a Diablo of that vintage. And so it's kind of like I've got an orange one here that's the same kind of idea, Diablo SV.
Mine's yellow.
There you go.
He cheaped out, got the yellow one.
Yeah, Lamborghinis are famously easy to work on. I'm sure that's no problem.
He's got the Playboy Lambo, actually. Yeah,
that's it. It.
No,
there was a Playboy 300 SL, the Hugh Hefner Gullwing. That was he had a Roadster. That was always one that people have looked for. So those cars always make for good stories. And in this kind of modern cars and coffee culture, where you go and sort of like, rather than the brag boards that boomers have put in front of their Corvettes, this is the idea that, you just have your car has a wilder story or was in a different movie or, some kind of celebrity provenance. Yeah. And so
it's about the lore now.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I have the Missy Elliott Spiker there and the little Uzi Vert Bugatti and Birdman and Justin Bieber. And so it'll fit in nicely around here.
Good golly.
That's awesome.
Last time you were on the show, you sold the fleet, pulled your money, and bought something extra special. I don't know my cars well enough. You'll have to help me. But what'd you get, and how'd that work out?
That was the Bugatti, and so far it has worked out well in that it has not broken, which would bankrupt me. Everything on the car is insanely expensive, but so far it has held together quite nicely. I put 3,000 or 4,000 miles on it, which is a lot in Bugatti world, but it was the Frankfurt Motor Show car, and then it sold to these guys that ran a dealership called Symbolic Motors in La Jolla. Then they got arrested for trying to fix the mayoral race, and it got sold to Birdman. He gave it to Justin Bieber. It got repossessed. Mayweather bought it before that fight with Conor McGregor as like a preemptive celebration. And then
Wow.
Little Uzi Vert bought it. I wasn't familiar with who he was.
Still
but,
not. Yeah.
Yeah, and it hasn't changed my perception of him. But it's seen some things. But overall, it's a car. And, I don't like having nice stuff. So if it's, the dash is wrinkly and the seats are torn, it doesn't bother me. And the car
You
runs
don't like
well
having
now.
nice stuff. You just need a working man's Bugatti.
That's it.
That's
it. So,
just a daily driver to pick up fucking apples at the grocery store.
But we have a ton of fun in cheap cars too. We just shot a $1,500 car series of like a Top Gear knockoff collaboration that I do with two other car YouTubers called Car Trek, and so we're going to run that next in June. And so we've done 11 of those kind of mini series where you pick a car buying criteria and just go out searching on our sponsors, Auto Tempest, which is like a search platform that combines all the listings from all the sites to make it easier. And so they like that as an example of how to use their services.